confirmation time, and I said, why not? As I know, as we all know, we all are on a journey. I see it as like a faith journey, or for some of us, it's almost like an adventure. As I look back, I did not grow up in a religious home at all. We didn't go to church. We didn't even have a Bible in the house when I was growing up. But it is amazing, I think, that the most faith-filled person that I know was my mother, who thought she wasn't good enough to go to church. And even to the day that Carson and I were married, she didn't think she was good enough to enter the doors of the church. But she drilled into my head, and my dad's too, I think, that we need to take care of each other. We need to look out for each other. And that's something that I still try to do to this day. I think my first thought and my first feeling of faith was when I was in high school. I ran around with a kid that they were very involved with their church, and they invited me to go. And it was the first time I opened up a Bible and actually read it. And I actually had questions, and I actually felt the love of Jesus. I just felt it. And we met every Friday night, and we met for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and just talked. A lot of questions were answered, a lot of questions came up. It was a real growing time for me. And so then when I went to college, didn't have it at first, couldn't find the right place. And I was living with my roommate, who some of you know, Rhonda, and we lived in this apartment, and our roommate, or not our roommate's future, but the girl who lived above us, set her fire alarm off. And we went running upstairs to help her, and helping her, she said, hey, I go to this Lutheran group on Monday nights. We have Bible study, and we play volleyball. And that was the start of going to church again. It all started with volleyball, because we have our hour-long Bible study, and then we play volleyball for an hour and a half. And I met some of the coolest people there, and we did all kinds of things together, and we answered questions, we asked questions, and we dug into the Bible. And once again, I felt really good about being in my faith. And then I have to talk about the person on my journey that probably meant the most to me, and no, it's that person. And my faith journey, the man who's probably meant the most is my campus pastor, Pastor Fred. If you look at Pastor Fred, he reminds you of Martin Luther. Kind of short, kind of stubby, and liked to drink good beer. And he was my campus pastor for 5 years. And he's also the man that got me to go to Montana for the Lutheran Student Movement. And he's also the man that said, hey, you should go and be more involved and be a leader. And he's the one who also married Carson and I in Spokane after moving to Minnesota, and came back to marry us. Here was a man who made you think. Made you find in the Bible what you needed to look for. He challenged you every day. And being in college, I did my share of going out and doing college things and partying, but he said, I don't care what you do on Saturday night, but you will be in church on Sunday morning. And no matter what we did the night before, we were always in church on Sunday morning. And I have to admit, he is the one who talked me into taking a theology class in college. It was like I would never have done that, but he was teaching it, so I did. He opened my eyes to a lot of things. I think my faith was going along pretty strong. I felt the love of God, and I felt like I was sharing that love, but I hit a glitch. And that was the year that my mom got sick. Can you cry? She was diagnosed with brain cancer. And I was really mad. Really mad. And I couldn't understand why God would let this happen to me. Or to her. Here I had 2 small children. And they would never get to know their grandmother. I felt so mad that I almost stopped coming to church. And I just couldn't understand. And there's a time when Pastor Chris was here, and he said, go ahead, get mad. Get as mad as you want. It's right, God can take it. And at that point I thought, okay, let me get mad. And I remember days of just yelling. I was yelling at God because I was so mad. But then one day I got a sympathy card, and I was just opening it. I opened it up, and I couldn't find it. It was really upset me. I was writing this. I couldn't find it, and it basically said, God saying, I never promised you perfect. I never promised you rainbows. I never promised you roses. I didn't promise you a good day every day, but I promised I would be with you forever. And right then I kind of went, oh, okay. It made me really think. By that time, I kind of separated myself from the church a little bit because I was just going through a lot of things. But I kept thinking, and I kept coming back into my mind, and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden I had a calling. It was my turn to do day camp. It was my turn to teach in Pioneer Club. And I felt really good about doing that. And then one day I was in the Bible, and I read this passage from Romans 5:3-5, which says, we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, endurance hope, and hope does not disappoint us, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, which has been given to us. Okay, that got me through. I was good. I kept reading those things over and over. So as time went on, I felt more secure again in my faith, and then I found out I have another calling, and that was working in special education. And I got really into that. I really enjoy it. But then I felt the greatest test of my faith was yet to come, and it was. And it was this past year. My dad was getting sicker, and at the same time, Alexis was in the hospital. But this time, when my mom was sick, I was angry. But this time when my dad was sick and when Alexis was sick, there was one verse that I said every day. And it is, when I find it. And God is faithful. He will not leave you tempted beyond what you can bear. That's 1 Corinthians 10:13. And there were days I felt very tempted that I just couldn't make it. I couldn't make it anymore. But the more I kept saying this to myself, I got through. And I knew right then and there that God was there for me. And He was there for my dad. He was there for Alexis. When my dad told me that he was ready to go and be with God and be with my mom, and everything was okay. And after he died, I felt that he was in the right place. And he was also a great man of faith. And going through the dying process with him made me realize that God is bigger than anything. And now I know, and I try every day to live the way my parents did. And I was trying to figure out how to express that. And once again, I found it in Ephesians 4:2, which says, be completely humble and gentle, be patient, and bearing with one another in love. And that's how my parents lived their life. And I don't think I can do the same thing. And I guess I can end the prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time together, and be with us as we each continue our own faith journey. And guide us to be instruments of your love. I ask it in your name. Amen.